Can I fix my car's broken air conditioning with just this £70 bottle of refrigerant? The UK at the moment is experiencing one of the hottest Junes on record, and neither my 2002 Range Rover or 2004 Maserati 4200's air conditioning systems are blowing cold air. All my local garages that advertise air conditioning servicing, repairs and top-ups are busy, and so I thought I'd take matters into my own hands. Can I do this from home, and therefore can you do it as well? But how does a car's air conditioning system actually work? Well, the process begins with the compressor, which is a belt-driven unit that pressurizes the system and circulates a gas throughout. This high pressure gas then flows into the condenser located at the front of the car. Much like a radiator, the condenser removes heat from the gas, causing it to condense into a liquid. Then the liquid travels through an expansion valve, and this is where the pressure drops dramatically, cooling the liquid as it enters to the next stage of the system. That chilled liquid then passes into the evaporator, usually positioned behind the dashboard. As warm cabin air is drawn across the evaporator's cold surface, heat is absorbed and cooled air is circulated back into the cabin. However, the crucial component that makes all of this possible is, of course, the refrigerant. It's the working fluid that moves through each stage, continually changing between gas and liquid to transfer heat out of the vehicle. Without it, the system simply cannot function, and you won't get that cold air blowing on your face. So I've just been over there behind me in that lovely Halford store to collect this very, very expensive bottle. This here, this AC Pro, was £72. And I've also bought this, which is a valve, a pressure gauge, and also the trigger dispenser. Now these two things combined cost me a little over £100, but in theory it should mean I can now regas my air conditioning system right here or on the driveway or wherever I am. And obviously the valve I won't need to buy again, so my Maserati also needs an AC regas. I should be able to do that car too for the same price. So longevity, convenience and speediness wise, this could be quite good, because try booking your car into a garage during this heat wave for an AC regas. I think you might find it's not going to be done until after the good weather goes. So let's take the Range Rover home. Hopefully this will be the last drive I have to do in the heat, because it's 34 degrees outside today, and with this leather interior it's not the most pleasant, let's say. Excellent, so let's get going. So if this works, I'll be extremely happy, because it means obviously I can recharge the air conditioning not just on this car but on the Maserati as well, because that is slightly not very warm. Obviously it's highly likely that it's not just a regas that's needed and it's some other issue, but the gauge that I bought will tell me if that's the case, because it wouldn't be particularly safe to try and recharge a system that might already be quite high pressure but not working for some reason. So the gauge I bought should indicate as to whether that's the case or not. So fingers crossed a recharge will help / fix the problem. But it is, of course, being a 23-year-old Range Rover, entirely probable that it's simply not just that, it's a leak or the condenser compressor, something of the sort. So we'll find out nonetheless. Let's get this into sport. Kick down. What a thing. The other thing to mention as well is that once you've finished with the bottle, which hopefully I can get a couple of cars out of, if you take it back to Halfords, they give you £10 cash back, so it's actually £62. Okay, so the car is home. It's now 31 Celsius. It's very, very hot indeed, but I managed to find online a workshop manual for my L322. I've printed off this page, which is talking about refrigerant recovery, recycling and recharge. Now we're interested in the recharging, which is described to me on the next page here. But this is what I'm looking for. So I need to locate the low pressure valve, which is the bigger of the two. So there's a high pressure, there's a low pressure. This is what I want to be connecting my little new device from Halfords to, which is the low pressure valve. So we can reopen the bonnet and see if we can find it. I'm noticing in here it is rather muddy still from some of my off-roading adventures, so I might try and give that all a clean. Now I think that this here is my low pressure valve, and we've got one, two. This is the wider of the two. I think that is it, but I will just double check. The thing is, the hose that we bought will only attach to this valve, so if we've got it wrong, we should know about it. There we go. So here we have the instructions. Find the port, do not start the engine, always connect with the engine off. Locate the AC low side service port, which I think we found. You will not be able to connect to the high side port, which is good to know. Unscrew the dust cap, which we've done, and connect the trigger dispenser. If the reading is 0, this indicates that there may be an abnormal leak on the system. Do not attempt to add refrigerant. So I have a feeling we may book down at that first hurdle, because I think there's probably, I mean, it's a 23-year-old Range Rover, there's probably going to be some sort of leak in the system. So it could be quite a short video if that's the case, but we'll find out nonetheless. Now, if you put your car's details into this website, which is listed on the instructions, it will tell you exactly and very helpfully where you'll find your low pressure valve. It will then very easily clip on, and it won't do so if you're putting it in the wrong place. And without having to turn the engine on, you'll get a reading on the gauge here showing you the status of the pressure of your air conditioning system. And surprise, surprise, can you see what it says here for my Range Rover? Right, so as expected, the L322 read 0 on the pressure gauge, which means we can't regas it because it's a little bit dangerous, because the gas is probably just going to go everywhere if I try, and it's really harmful stuff actually, this refrigerant. Also, it's redundant because it will just leak anyway and could actually over-pressurize it quite easily and damage whatever's left of the system. But obviously that needs some further investigation, something I'll probably take it to Glenrans for. However, I have got my Maserati here, which is blowing cold but not very cold, so I have a feeling it could actually just need a regas. So why don't we give that a go, so that it's not been a complete waste of money and a waste of a morning, and see if at least we can make that one better. Right, let's have a little look inside here. Pull this bonnet hatch and see if we can begin to work out where the port might be for this car. Okay, beautiful paintwork on this. What do we have here? So this looks a bit air conditioning-y. I think, I don't know. There's something down there, that could be it, but I'm not certain. So of course, with this being a wonderful Italian vehicle, they put it in a slightly difficult place. I think that's it all the way down there, which I can't quite get to. So I need to take off the plastic covers, which you seem to have to do really to do anything in this car. Then we can connect this. Hopefully it doesn't read 0 like it did with the Range Rover, and we should be good to go. Okay, so plastic covers off. Now let's see if this is the right thing, because of course it looks like the right connector. We know that this will not go on unless it is indeed correct, so let's just give it a go. Now if this reads 0 PSI, we can end this video here and it'll be a massive failure, but fingers crossed it's got something in it. Let's see. 90? Oh god, that's beyond any sort of that's like danger. Okay, so it says that at that sort of PSI there's a malfunction and you should seek professional advice. So in short, can one recharge, regas their AC systems at home? Well, if that one is me, who likes to buy very cheap, once expensive, exotic cars 20 years down the line, then the answer is no. But for you, with a car that's probably working and may just need a regas, it's a fairly simple, easy system. You find exactly where the port is online with your number plate or your car make and model, and then immediately this will plug in and tell you what the pressure is. But it's clearly something's going wrong with this Maserati, as it's reading 88. So we've had the two extremes with my cars. We've had 0 PSI on the Range Rover, and on this one we've had a very, very high reading indeed. So unfortunately that's been a mega fail for me, but I've learnt a little bit, and yeah, oh dear. Right, so that was not exactly the glaring success that I had dreamed about in my head this morning when I woke up and thought about regassing the AC myself. In fact, quite far from it. However, it has been interesting to find out how relatively straightforward and simple it is to regas your car yourself. I would also go as far as to wager that the majority of you guys watching aren't as crazy as me and probably don't own a fleet of sort of early noughties cars that were once very, very expensive and notoriously tricky to own these days. But at least it's told me now that there's a leak in the system of the L322 and there's something that needs investigating further on this Maserati. The pressure seems a little bit high. So it saved myself a trip to the garage to just find that out, but it will need further looking into. But if you think your car might just need a regas, I actually can recommend going and getting yourself something similar to what I've done. Just check it's compatible with your car and give it a go. Because if that did work, that would have been extremely convenient indeed. I should mention this video is not sponsored by AC Pro or Halfords or anyone like that. I genuinely just wanted to give it a go myself, and I've used my own money, wasted my own money to buy these products. But I will leave an affiliate link on Amazon to the same, if not a similar product. Just make sure it's compatible with your car if you do want to give it a go. Thanks for watching this video. I've learned a lot. It's not been quite as successful as I would have hoped, but hopefully you guys have learned something too. I'll see you all in the next video very, very soon.